Imagine this mnemonic seed as a modern-day Rosetta Stone, a key that encodes the language of financial freedom. Welcome to the Heartbit podcast, where we delve into the heart of Bitcoin and uncover the sweet spot for enthusiasts worldwide. I'm Danny, your fellow explorer in the Bitcoin universe, and today we'll uncover a tutorial on how to effectively use the Mnemonic punch plate. The what now? This thing. It's a way to secure your keys, and I like it because it's kind of the size of a key. Not your keys, not your coins. Why do we say that? Because Bitcoin is the only digital asset you can truly own. But that only happens when you hold your own keys. That also means that you are responsible for securing those keys, and writing them down is the first step. If you're still a little mixed up about Bitcoin and keys, watch our previous episode. There we go over what is Bitcoin and running a node and creating a paper wallet. This punch plate is made in the US by a company called Codl, and I got my hands on it for just a couple of bucks when I went to BitBlock Boom. I also got this Bitcoin sign, which is pretty cool. Anyhow, let's take a look at how we can use this tiny plate to become sovereign individuals. Remembering a series of 264 ones and zeros would be a difficult task even for the brightest minds. The 64 hexadecimal might be more feasible, but is only memorizable by gifted individuals. So they devised a way of reducing that complexity to 24 words by implementing mnemonic seeds on Bitcoin. These words are human-readable representations of the underlying private key. Each word represents a unique sequence of ones and zeros, and you can use those words to create every possible 264-bit combination. Every single one. That's a lot of combinations, and Bitcoin security relies on it. Imagine this mnemonic seed as a modern-day Rosetta Stone, a key that encodes the language of financial freedom. So when you order from Cold Storage, they're gonna send you a little bag like this one. We're gonna go ahead and look at what's inside each one so that you know what to expect. Of course, you'll find the punch plate. This one is the other piece of my 2-piece 12-word set. In the back of the main card, you can find a section to write down your words and the numbers that correspond to those words. This one only has 12 because it's for the 12-word punch plate, but the one that comes with the 24-word one has all 24 spaces, both for the word and the numbers. So that's very useful. I'll leave this right here for now. Let's see what else comes in here. Okay, so we also have the BIP39 word list. So you don't have to struggle to find the information you need. Everything you need is right here in the bag. And it also comes with this puncher. You use it to hammer it down and mark your plate, and the instructions. So we're gonna put this away for now, and we're gonna keep the plate because we are going to do our words on the computer so that you can follow along. So now we're gonna select 24 words and we're gonna click generate. And now we have the 24 words for our show, which are icon, elite, blanket, gas, impose, and so on and so forth. I'm going to write down the seed on the computer, but please do not take photographs of your private seed on any digital device because digital devices can be scanned for private keys, okay? I'm gonna do it so that you can follow along and see what I'm doing because we're at no risk. There are no funds on this private key, okay? So we have our list. We're gonna look up each one of our words in our mnemonic seed list, and we're gonna write down the index for each one of those seeds. At home, you're going to be doing it on this piece of paper, okay? And so you're going to write each one of the words for all 24 words, and you're going to write down the index for each of the 24 words. So let's start. My first word is icon. The index for icon is number 899. The next word is elite. The index for elite is 577. And for blanket, it's 187. And we're going to keep on going down the list, and we're gonna do this for every single word, okay? You at home are gonna do it for every single one of your words, okay? And then when we have our whole list with all our numbers and all our words, then we can move on to the next step. I'm going to do the next step. I'm going to do an additional intermediate step that you don't have to do at home, because I made photocopies of the plate so that you could see them really big and follow along. If you were using the 12-word punch plate, which is the small one, and you were using 2 of these to make up 24 words, you would follow the exact same process. So I am only gonna do it on the 24-word punch plate so that you can follow along. So as you can see, the numbers go from 1 to 24, and we're gonna start with number 1, which represents word 1. So even though I'm doing this in a piece of paper, what you can do at home is that you take your punch plate and you take a Sharpie and you do what we're doing here on the paper, but you do it with the Sharpie on the dots. I'm also gonna do that in a minute after I do this, so that I don't make any mistakes when I'm punching. So let's go through our words one by one. Let's see what we have over here. Is this what we're looking for? No, this is a painting that my daughter, who is adorable, made for me. And I keep it here to remind me why we do this. Later on in other episodes, we'll talk about Bitcoin and generational wealth and how to secure your assets for inheritance and all those wonderful things that will help you create a fortress for your children. Okay. So we have our words. Our first word is icon, and we have our punch plate. Let's look at our punch plate more closely first. So along the bottom, we have the numbers 1 through 13, and on the back, we have the numbers up to 24. So horizontally, we have numbers 0 through 9, which represent our digits 0 through 9 and are going to indicate like what number we're punching. The columns with the numbers at the bottom represent the word that we are typing in, and the row represents the number we're typing in. So inside each square, you'll notice there's 4 dots. The dots indicate the indices of the number that we're trying to enter. So for example, if the word icon has the digits 899, we only have 3 digits. In some numbers, we have 4 digits because we need to go up to 2048, so we have 4 digits. So like for example, in this word manage, where we have the number 1080, we are going to be using all 4 dots, all 4 positions in the square to indicate the numbers of our index. As you can see here in the corner, we have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, which tells us that the order in which we're supposed to read it is like the hands of the clock. So if I want to enter, you can choose to ignore the zeros or not. I'm going to choose to ignore them because I don't gain anything from writing the number 0899. So, I mean, if there's a preceding 0, I'm just going to ignore it and only do the number 899. So my first number is number 8. And since this is the first digit in our indice, we are going to mark the top box. So for example, for 899, this would indicate word 1, number 8 in position number 1. And since the last 2 numbers are 99, then we would mark the position number 2 and position number 3 with 99. So this is telling us that the first number is 8, the second number is 9, and the third number is 9. Okay, so the first number is 899. The second number is 5, and the last 2 digits are 77. So just like with the first word, we're going to go to column 2, row 7, and we're going to mark the indices 2 and 3. Okay, 7, 7. Then our next word is blanket, which is number 187. So we're going to go to column number 3, we're going to go to row number 1, and we're going to indicate position number 1. And then we're going to do the same for 8 and 7. So we're going to go to row 8, position 2, row 7, position 3, and this is what it would look like to write 187 on row 3. Okay, so now moving on to impose, which is 912. That means we go to row 9, then row 1, and then row 2. On the back, we continue with our word 14. Word 14 is 1288. So we're gonna go to column number 14, which is the first one on the back side, and we're gonna go to row 1, index 1, and mark it. Then number 2, then number 8 for position 3 and 4. Then we have the word kangaroo, which is 973. We're gonna go to column 15, we're gonna go to row 9 and mark spot number 1. Then we're going to go to row 7 and mark spot number 2. And then we're gonna go to column number 3 and mark spot number 3. So if we read this would tell us that the first number is 9, the second number is 7, and the third number is 3. And the way we know that is because up here, we need to follow the dots like the hands of the clock. So once you have marked them with the marker, now we are ready to punch. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this really quickly off camera and do the dots on the plate, just like we did on the paper. That way we can start punching. Either before or after you punch, but it might make more sense to do it before you start punching. And before you start sending and receiving any funds, you're going to want to check that you wrote down your seed correctly. And the way that you're going to do this, and I'm going to show you in the next episode, is that like you're going to remove your seed from your wallet. You're going to like delete your wallet and you're going to restore it using the words that you wrote down to make sure that you are using the wallet that corresponds to the information that you have backed up. Okay? So once we have confirmed that this is the correct information and we're ready to punch and all the numbers and the indices are ready and we have done our dots, then we can punch. Okay, so I'm here just putting dots on my plate. This is what it looks like so far. I'm almost done with the front of it. And I'm gonna continue putting my dots until I'm done. And I'm done! So this is what my plate looks like when I'm done putting in all of the numbers, back and front. It's all dotted. And now that we have done this step, we are finally ready to start punching. So we've got our plate ready to go. We've marked every dot. We have this puncher from Codl that they sent us, and we're going to start hammering away. I'm going to start with column number 1 for word number 1, which for our case is icon, and it's the number 899. So I'm going to go to row 8 and mark the first one just like I did with the other one. You have to hit it really hard, and it doesn't really like the red marker makes it harder to see because you can't tell the difference. But once you clean the red marker, it should be really easy to see the nudge, that one little hole is different to the other ones. So you want to get the tip of the bar inside that little hole, the tip of the puncher inside the little hole so it holds tight, and then you give it a good jam. The surface is not ideal. You're going to want to have something very, very sturdy to do this, okay? So let's keep on going. This is number 577. It's good to have your list so that you can check your work as you go down the holes, because this would be a great moment to catch any mistakes that you have made when you wrote them down. So let's see again. Okay, see, that's a big nice hole that you got right there. How's the hammering going? I am punching away. I'm halfway there. It's a lot of holes to punch. All right, and that is it. That's the last one. Our plate is all punched. So this is what our punch plate looks like when it's all punched. This is the front. This is the back. The red dots don't help very much because you can't distinguish between the hole and the red dots very well, but it's all marked now. So at this stage, we want to check that all of our markings are legible enough that we can see what they are even if the red ink rubs away. So I think that for this plate, those markings are enough. I can definitely tell the difference between, I mean, maybe not when I'm 60 and I don't have any eyes left, but right now I can still tell the difference between the holes that have been punched and those that haven't. So now what we should do is we should read the plate. So for example, this is column 16. Oh, well, column 16 is easy because the number is 999. But what we should do is, without using our list to cheat, we go through each marking and we check that the number that we have is the one on our list. So let's say column number 20 is 1596. So we want to check that that word number 20 was in fact 1596, and we do this for each word to make sure that we've written them down correctly, because if we make a hole in the wrong place, nobody will be able to help us recover our seed. Let's recap. First, we set up our wallet and got the private seed. Then we looked up the words in the list and got the number. Then we used each column in the plate for each word and the row for the value and the position of the dots in the box to indicate each digit in our number. Okay, on the next episode, we are going to be recovering our wallet using this seed with a jade wallet, and we're going to connect it to the node that we ran in the first episode using Spectre. So that's going to be really exciting. I really recommend that you stay tuned for it so you can learn how to connect your wallet to your own Bitcoin node. The steel plate is an excellent method to store your key. It is resistant to earthquakes and fires and floods. Keep safe the keys that open the doors to your Bitcoin sovereignty, or lose them in a boasting accident. Either way, I hope this tutorial helps you protect the things close to your heart. And with that, my friends, we have come to a close. Don't forget to press the subscribe button so that you can join us as we explore the secrets and stories surrounding the world's only sound money. Thanks for tuning in to Heartbit, and remember, take care of your Bitcoin and it will take care of you.